started. We're waiting on a couple people to join. I'm just going to give you a bit more context, a bit more setup for our time today. So hopefully today's webinar will give you a linear view of all the steps you and your team need to take to win more and bid less. So we're going to go through adding a contact, setting up contact activities, tracking some emails in the system, communicating between departments, checking off your sales activities, uploading photos, and generating proposals. So I'm going to be narrating this scenario between Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec and Rachel here. And Rachel will be sharing her screen and showing you live what she would do in the situation between herself and her new contact, her new lead, Leslie Knope. Okay, all right, great. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. And I think we are ready to get started. Now, today, if you have any questions as we're going through the system, we're going to be showing the system from start to finish. If you have any questions, please throw them in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them if we can. If they're a little bit more specific, then we will reach out afterward with some answers for you. And additionally, stay tuned at the very end of today's webinar because we have a really exciting announcement to roll out for you. All right, let's get started. Rachel, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, so everybody imagine with me here. Imagine that Rachel is at a trade show getting some food and she runs into the one and only Leslie Knope. Rachel is starstruck, but she says hello anyway. They hit it off, they grab coffee, and Leslie says, hey, let's get lunch sometime this fall. Leslie gives Rachel her card and walks away. So right away, Rachel creates a new contact in Followup. So she can do this on her mobile app, or she can open up her laptop so that she won't forget. So Rachel, go ahead and show us how you're going to do that.
So we are going to go over, and if you're in the system or on your phone, it's in the same spot. You got the little plus sign right here. And since it's just a new relationship, you don't have any related projects yet, but they are coming in the future potentially as you build the relationship. You'll start here, we'll do the plus sign, and we'll just add new contact. So we'll go ahead and put in Leslie Knope, and we have an email address for Leslie Knope. Over here, we have a cell number of 7891. I'm going to go ahead and schedule a follow-up, because I know that I want to keep tabs and go ahead and have this set it and forget it reminder when I get back to the office. So I want to follow up with Leslie on Tuesday to see if we can schedule that lunch meeting. I'll shoot her an email or give her a call first thing that morning. I'm going to go ahead and put myself as the user. This means that any activities that I schedule for Leslie are going to go on my calendar and my activity wall so that I can track that. Now, I do know we've done some work with the Parks Department before. Leslie's just a new person that I haven't met there to this point yet, and I will click create. And that's how I put Leslie into the system.
Great. Okay. So then when Rachel gets back to the office after her trade show, she sits down at her desk and she opens up her system and she sees that, hey, I need to follow up with Leslie. Okay. So she does, and she sets up a sales meeting. And she schedules a reminder to send a Christmas card. And those are her two other contact activities. She sets up a lunch meeting and schedules a Christmas card. Rach, show us how you're going to do that.
Yep. So right now I'm on the contact page for Leslie. I'm going to go to activities and I can see the follow-up that I scheduled right here. Now, say I gave Leslie a call this morning. We went ahead and scheduled a lunch meeting for the following Friday. So we'll schedule that for Friday, August 4th. At 11:30 a.m. And I went ahead and took care of that follow-up. So I'm going to check that right off and click save. Now, another thing that I can do, I did some stalking of Leslie on LinkedIn. So I can add a profile photo for her. If I go to what I have here, if anybody doesn't know what Leslie Knope looks like, now you do. So I can now add a profile photo so that next time I'm at a trade show, I can recognize and remember her face. There we've got Leslie. So I want to backtrack for a quick second, because once I get back from the trade show, the first thing that I can do, say I didn't have Leslie fresh on my mind and I wanted to be able to just see what my follow-ups were. This is where I'd be able to find where I have those scheduled activities for Leslie under contact activities. and the follow-up, and you'll see the lunch meeting that I just scheduled for Leslie is right here, scheduled for the 4th under my contact activities. All right. So Rach, I scheduled a lunch meeting, and then I'm just going to want to continue to build that relationship over time. So I'll go ahead and plan to send her a Christmas card on December 1st as well, with the batch that I'm going to send out from our office.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So the contact's been created, the contact activities are set up, and August 4th rolls around and it's time for them to go to lunch. So Rachel and Leslie go, they grab lunch. And at lunch, Leslie mentions to her a project. She says, I have this dream project. It's called Pawnee Park, and the bid date is sometime in August. Great. Rachel's going to get back to the office. And what are you going to do when you get back to the office, Rach?
So I can search for Leslie's contact page, pull her up right here. It'll take me right to this page. And then I'm going to go to, Then I'm going to go to projects. I don't have any projects with Leslie yet, but I want to create one because now I'm aware of a potential lead coming down the pipeline for her. So I can actually click this little plus sign right in here, and this will pull up the project page with Leslie's information already connected to the project. So we'll go ahead and call this Pawnee Park. And we don't have an address for this yet because we don't quite know all of the details. So I'm going to call this a new lead. We'll say this is a current client because we've worked with the Parks Department before. I don't have plans for a pre-bid meeting, but I'm going to go ahead and say the estimated bid date is going to be August 9th. We'll call this a current client since we've worked with them before. I'm going to put myself in here as the sales rep. And let's call this Park Outdoor, Commercial. We're going to do new construction in the Northeast. And that's the data and the details that I have thus far. So this really important part then is the sales activities. I'm going to go ahead and schedule what I know. I don't know everything yet, but I'm going to schedule what I do know. So I remember that I met Leslie. What was it? Let's say it was the 28th. No, let's call that today. I met Leslie at the trade show on that date. Then I went ahead and had the lunch meeting. When did I do that? The 4th, right, Rach?
Yes.
Okay. Those have been completed. And I'm going to go ahead and schedule a site visit for hopefully sometime next week. All right. I want to follow up with Leslie to find out if she has an address or any further details. So I'm here. Let's go back to the project page right here under Leslie's name. So I'm under Leslie's contact page, and here's the project. Now to email Leslie related to this project to get an address or any further details on the timeline or anything like that, I'll go ahead and click the envelope right here. That's going to pull up my email, and this tracking number here is what tracks this email in the system. So I'm starting this thread, and I'm going to say, let me ask her about anything else. I'll say details, and I'll say, hey, Leslie, any further details on this project? Send. So that's going off to Leslie. I'll get a response from here shortly, but I want to get some input from somebody else in my team about this project, their perspective, their thoughts on it. So I'll go down to the very bottom in this project comment section, and I'll ask Christine. Christine's my boss, and I'll say, Christine, what are your thoughts on bidding this park? Save. Now, at mentioning Christine is going to send her an email with a link to this project and my comment itself. So she'll be able to pop in, respond to my comment, give any thoughts, details, anything else like that I need to hear back from her. All right. And then, Rach, what do we have next?
All right. So I have a Leslie Knope email coming your way with that address and some more details on the project. So let's say that Rachel, you sent that email to Leslie. Leslie's going to respond right away, and it should pull in. So
this is my email that I sent to Leslie. You'll see the one that I sent to her. And then shortly, as soon as I receive that one, it will pull that into the project as well. And we'll give that a second, and then I'll be able to fill in the address location. Rach, what is that address from the email?
It's 1234 Main Street, Pawnee, Indiana.
And you have a zip?
Yep, that's it right there. You guessed it.
Perfect. I'm so smart. So here I am. I've created the project, and we are going to go ahead and take care of the site visit on the 7th. Now, we won't pull up different calendars and things, but just to mention is as long as you have your calendar sync turned on, that particular event activity for myself is going to go on my Outlook or Gmail calendar so that I can actually track that outside of the system. If I live by my calendar outside the system, that particular site visit is, since it's scheduled in the future, is going to go ahead and go on my calendar. All right. So what do I do next?
So let's say that Rachel, you got that address in, you've got everything filled out. So your sales, your contact is created, your contact activities are set up, and now your project is created and you have some sales activities set up, and it's time for you to go on the site visit. So Rachel's going to go on the site visit and she's going to snap a bunch of photos. Okay. And then once she gets back from that site visit, it's time for her to upload those photos in the documents section.
Awesome. So I'll click into documents and I'm just going to go add new, upload files. I've got them in a folder here on my computer, and I'll pull them right in. So photos are here. And then, am I ready to draft my proposal?
I think so, as long as our boss, Christine, said that we're good to go.
Great. I'm going to assume that we heard back from her and we're good. And here we go. We see the address response from Leslie right here. So that one came in, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and get prepped to draft the proposal. So I'm here on the project page. I have the address information for the actual project. I'm going to go ahead and put in what I'm quoting for the project. We'll call this a pricey one. And this is going to be our base bid. I'm going to save that, and then we're ready to generate this proposal. So
now let's go ahead and mention, in case some of you are don't have the proposal generator, you won't see the button there for generate proposal. That's an additional feature. And if you're interested after this webinar in checking out the proposal generator, talking about it, asking some questions, go ahead and reach out to Rachel and she can get you set up with that.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. So I'll go ahead and click generate proposal, and we're going to go ahead and send it to Leslie Nope at the Parks Department and generate. This pulls us into the proposal generator. And what I'm going to have is a couple different options of templates. So I am going to choose my personal template. You'll see that the photos from my documents section went right into there so that I can insert them into the proposal. So if I come here, I'm going to choose my personal proposal template. I'll go ahead and slap a nice park photo onto the front and choose this as my cover. Then I'm going to just check all of the different, most of this is already templated, so I don't need to make many changes, but I'm just going to double check. All of this information is going to fill in directly from the project page. And I will come to my photo templates here, and I'll go ahead and upload and put in the photos that I took on my site visit. So I'll put these 4 in here, and I'll call these site visit design, and we'll save that. I've got my terms and conditions, which is standard. Those aren't going to change. I'm good to go on those. And then I'll come to my pricing sheet. So my base bid amount, which is the $300,000 that I put in there, is going to auto populate into here. And then I've got a couple extra add-ons. If they want to add a swing set or a gazebo, I've got check boxes that they're able to fill out from there. They as in Leslie. So my proposal's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and generate this review. And as that's loading, let me see if we had any questions come in.
Also want to mention that obviously we're watching this and it has all of the follow-up branding on it. In case you're not familiar with the proposal generator, your branding gets burnt right onto these proposals. So it's not going to look like this. It's going to look custom to you. And if this is something you're interested in, Rachel actually works hand in hand with you to get it set up exactly the way that you're already used to using, so that it's not going to change the way that it looks and the way that it interacts with your team, with your clients. It's just going to be easier to create.
Yep, for sure. So we'll see. I'll go ahead and review. I've got the Pawnee Park project with their address. It filled in, prepared for Leslie Nope with the park department, the project name, all of that information, and then my name right here. We've got our pictures, we got our terms and conditions, and then our pricing sheet down here, base bid. And then this is going to look a little wonky because I want them to have filling in check boxes and actually e-sign. So these are part of the e-signature. So it looks good to me. I'm going to go ahead and come back here, click send to client, and we'll go ahead and send this to Nope, it's Leslie at Gmail, and I want to send for signing. So this will open me up into a window where I can customize the message. Hi, Leslie. Here's our proposal. Talk soon, and send. So once that's sent, and I think Rach is going to open it up for Leslie on our other end, it locks the proposal. So you've got version control there, and we'll come back into the project page and I'll see down here, this one is the version that I sent. You can see the sending timestamp and date it. Now, once I did that, I'm going to go ahead and come and make sure that I've updated these sales activities. So obviously I did the site visit on the 7th. I'm going to say that today is now the 9th, and this is the day that I have delivered the proposal. So I sent it to Leslie. I'll go ahead and check that off. I drafted it today as well, so I'll go ahead and take care of that so that if my boss comes in and takes a look and wants to know all the progression, obviously the estimate happened at some point in the middle there, but we've checked these off. So and then I'll click save. And then just so you guys are aware, I will be able to get, since I sent this to Leslie, I will be able to get an email that says, hey, Leslie just viewed your proposal. So I'm notified when she opens it, and then I'm also notified when she signs it. So Rach, do you have that open on your end?
Yeah, I do. It came right through. And so let me share my screen here. Here we go. Can everybody see this?
Yep.
Okay, great. So here we go. This is what it would look like on the client side. So if I'm Leslie Nope here, I'm going to get started. I'm looking at this proposal. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Start. Of course, I want the swing set next. And of course, I want the gazebo next. And it's time for me to sign. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to type in Leslie Nope and hit sign. Great. And then once she's reviewed everything, date, everything's good to go. This proposal looks great to me. I'm going to click finish. Here we go. And a copy has been signed.
Perfect. So the client, and yes, Amber, we'll send we'll have a webinar recording available. I think you just popped that in the chat. So yes, we'll make sure that you get that. So then now that that has been signed, I'm going to come back in. I will get an email notification that it has been signed. Let me see if that one came into me yet, with the final proposal as well. So I'll be able to download that document on my computer if I'd like, or it's also going to show up. You'll see here, if I refresh my page, signature timestamp, so I can see when it was signed. And then my final copy will also be emailed to me, but it'll also show in the proposal folder right in here, the finalized, and this should be the signed one. Yep, signed copy. I can see, okay, she chose the swing set and the gazebo. Let's add $18,000 onto our final contract amount. So I'm going to come back into the page. I'm going to leave a note. Christine told me to go ahead and do it. So good thing I did. So I'm going to say adding gazebo and what was the other one? A swing set. Perfect. And so then I'm going to add that to this final amount, $318,000 as my final contract amount. I'm going to move this into contract and click save. And confetti. I know. Usually, most of you know it shows confetti. For some reason, my user doesn't like the confetti, even though I have it turned on.
That's personal preference, and I do judge you for that.
Imagine the confetti, but that has been a one contract. And then obviously, if you have an integration to Foundation or QuickBooks or anything like that, that would push that over into your accounting software, and then you're off to the races. So I think that's it, Rach.
Very good. Hey, we do have one question from Lisa. She says, are we able to track emails sent through the follow-up system in our regular email software?
So Lisa, and we can follow up you after this. I'm not sure what you mean by the regular email software. If you use Outlook, then you can use the Outlook plugin. You need Microsoft 365, and that will actually have a window. We have lots of different resources on that. That'll actually have a follow-up window within your email system. So let's follow up, and we'll kind of get a better understanding of what your question is there.
Yeah, great question. But hey, that is the process. Great job, Rachel. You just sealed the deal right there in 20 minutes. Really well done. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the chat or put them in the Q&A. We'd be happy to answer those. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. So now, obviously, every situation is different. Many of you are in different industries, but hopefully today you've been able to see how to take a lead from start to finish. So we didn't cover a lot of the bells and whistles that are in the system, like reports, analytics, calendar sync, project management mode, or any of our integrations. So there are a lot of bonus features. There's a lot more to it. But if you and your team are doing these steps, you'll win more and bid less. So